Sheffrey! At last a goal! And the only shock is that it's taken 31 minutes to arrive.
Big dreams start little, like ripples in the ocean space. And it's never how fast you run to get there, but a focused pace. Dreams are where we create a future that gives the present hope. Though they may not be accepted by everyone, we hold on to what we know. That is our duty to remain consistent through the barriers. There are many dream discouragers who were once the dream carriers. Most dreams are hindered by words, some which are spoken and that never leave the tongue. It doesn't cost much to support or offer encouragement when somebody is in need of some. Gary McSheffrey found his dream when he was searching for fun. Those early days when his dad took him to Highfield Road to watch Coventry play, not knowing one day he would become a legend for his boyhood club.
If only we saw the outcome before the process, maybe we would value the moment more. But then again, the outcome is always more enjoyable when the process has pushed us to realise our potential. Embodying ambition and commitment are why we as a city hold Gary at a high regard. From playing in the academy since a young age to racing with the stars, he did what it took to become what he had envisioned from the start, and that's a footballing giant. Leaving a whole generation of Cov kids inspired, the culmination of delivery and desire. For to become what you admire, you must be committed to what you admire, understanding the sacrifice that the journey requires.
It is easier to go down the hill than up, and it's hard to stay at the top. Gary entered the top flight at a young age, and he soared as thousands of fans applauded and watched. He continued playing with heart till he was hit with an injury, but he managed to pull through, and that's a champion's energy. Though he struggled, he persevered enduring times of inconsistency and fear. He found his spark when he realised that home is where the heart is, and his heart has always been with football. And this reminder was crucial. When the going gets tough, we ought to remind ourselves why we started. The victory is never in the trophy. It is choosing to turn on the lights when faced with darkness.
Hopefully one day we will be able to associate our lives with fulfilment, especially in the area of our gifts, creating a legacy that will push the next generation of Cov kids, just like Gary did. We are all Gary McSheffrey. You are Gary McSheffrey. The only difference is his stage was a football pitch and yours is whatever you believe it is.
I always knew the importance of sharing, even in the womb. My sister and I cuddled up before entering a world of blackouts and bombs. My childhood was spent beneath apple trees. I was an artist with a palette of chalky stones, scratching my creations onto the road. I won sword fights with stair rods and picked primroses as the lazy hay lay drying. I squeezed into my usual spot on our settee, next to the dog with the cat on my lap. Mum passed an apple to the driver. Dark, musky, twisting, turning. birdsong swapped for car horns, fields filled with buildings. I stepped off the sofa, out of the van, into city life. The sky was Coventry blue. 15 and fresh out of school, there was a whole world I could study, with mum's bag on my shoulder and shoes newly polished to help me look older. I got as far as Owen and Owens, knocked the office door, and reminded myself that I came from resilience and trunks of apple trees that thickened under the sun's gaze. I got the job. 5 years later, my hand tapped that office door one final time. Bosses could change their minds, but I always followed my heart, or mum's advice. No HR or second chances, but opportunities are like dances. There's always another one on the way. Weekends were majestic. A Friday waltz of sequins reflected on dance floors, the mingling of perfume with aftershave, and the laughter of swishing crinoline. Remembering steps made you forget the soreness of tight-fitting shoes. One night, the band reminded us, little things mean a lot. And softly, softly, I fell in love. I watched as friends began to knit blankets and booties. When alone, my tears fell like drops of blood. When I was sent to Coventry, the school had given me a bicycle. The second man I loved came here to build a city. But all he was gifted was a towel and a £1 note. Still, every morning, he straightened his bus driver hat and made sure he handed out smiles with the change. He came here to build a city. Together we built a home. Happiness swelled in my stomach, and soon there were 3 pairs of shoes by the doormat. Over the years, I travelled from home to home. They started off as patients, finished up as friends. From home to home, I cooked and cleaned and walked through memories of ball gowns and primroses. After retiring, I travelled again, from house to house, taking the bins out, putting them back, ensuring the bus would always be welcome. Writing letters, checking on neighbours, an understated, modern-day Lady Godiva. With a fierce heart and a pen for a sword. In my conservatory, there sits an old settee. Its cushions fondly recall the shape of children who liked to play, and friends who stopped for tea and cake. Its worn fabric remembers a cat and a dog, and once, a lifetime ago, a ride in a van that smelled of apples.
I can't believe I lost my job. As a teenager, I was like every other adolescent, with a bunch of emotions spiralling around me, of hopes and dreams, like a whirlwind, striving for greatness to become a lawyer. Fueled by my Middle Eastern mum and Italian dad, food and culture were like a window to my heritage. As I sat at the family table, the room full and vibrant with such joyous chaos, with heartfelt conversations and sensational food to follow. As I take a deep breath, I smell the indulgent spices, reminding me of how lucky I am to have this belonging.
As I was saying, I lost my job. A wake-up call, I would say. Realising I wasn't untouchable. I know the pandemic has been hard for everyone, but for me, I lost myself and my confidence was shattered. However, through the financial support of my mum and the emotional support from my partner, I was able to rewrite a new beginning and move forward with my idea. Oh wait, I mean our idea. As much as I hate to admit it, my partner might have had an input.
Caravan at the cottage. It even sounds amazing, right? Cakes, coffee, tea, biscuits, all homemade. The perfect little idea. A taste of heaven. My cafe. A dream come true. Everyone together as one community. Obviously within social distancing and COVID guidelines, of course. I was nervous at first that the idea wouldn't catch on. But with the word of mouth and the power of social media, I amassed a following of 2K and it has grown to be the successful business it is today.
It's funny because Coventry was nothing like my home, but this newfound community managed to make it that way. A safe haven, a welcoming city of acceptance, appreciation and the love of a good cookie. Horse riders, dog walkers, children, grandparents and more all arrive at my little business together as one and forevermore. No amount of money or job opportunity would give me this immense feeling, my new priority. The dream was right there, right in front of me, but the struggles behind it were oblivious to my surroundings. Losing my job was a blessing in disguise.
And I have now embodied a strong, empowered spirit determined to make my own idea of perfection. And a different kind of beautiful.